Well, hey, hello, and hi. I don't really have a 90s R&B reference to start off the show this week. I know, I'm sorry, I failed you. I failed you from the off, and I apologize, okay? Can we still be friends? I really hope that we can. Because, you know what, I crave this time that we spend together, okay? It's some of the most important time of the week for yours truly. And I'm so glad that you're here for episode number 30 of The John Dulong Show. Welcome to your weekly dose of the Monday morning nonsense. I'm John Dulong. Come on in, take a seat. Hope that you're having a good one. Not going to lie to you, there may be a bit of buzz there in the background. I do have the air conditioner on. It's a muggy day here in Halifax as I'm recording this. It's been a couple of really nice days in terms of the weather here in this part of the world. Today was a bit rainy. It's a little bit cooler, but I just find it very, very humid, which is why I want the AC going to cool down the room before I eventually have to try and get some sleep. As you're hearing this, if you're listening to it on Monday, I hope you're having a wonderful long weekend. Of course, Victoria Day here in Canada, May 2-4, I guess, which means that I don't got to get up for class tomorrow morning, which is exciting for me. I can sleep in a tiny bit. I do have to get up and do homework and bum around the house before I have work at 3 o'clock. But you know what? That's later John problem. I can sleep in just a teensy little bit and enjoy that, which I will. Had a very enjoyable weekend so far. We're just kind of having a stream of consciousness episode here today because I don't have a whole lot written down that I want to talk about. Sometimes that means that it's going to be a really good show. Other times it means it's going to be pure hot garbage. Hopefully it's the first and not the second, but we'll get there as we can. I'll tell you, this weekend I went to a wedding. It's a girlfriend's cousin's cousin. But good friends of my girlfriend. As she told me several times, she and the bride are basically the same person. So we got to go. It was a lovely little service, rife with nerdy references to television and movies, which I was a big fan of. Of course, also some literature in there too. I didn't catch all of those references because I'm probably not as well read as I should be. But the important bit is here that I got to spend a lovely day in the sun out in Antigonish. And it was a beautiful day for a ceremony. It wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot. The sun was nice in the sky. I have a little bit of sunburn going on right now, so kind of dealing with that here. As you're listening to the Monday Morning Nonsense. What I will say, though, is that I think I maybe have to change my answer to last week's prompt. Of course, last week we were talking about what that item is that you have to do in order for it to feel like spring. Well, for me, it's no longer that first moment that you sort of sit in the grass where it's not too wet to sit in the grass. It might actually be potato salad. I had some potato salad at this wedding, and god damn, it was good. Really, really enjoyed that potato salad. It's like the smallest thing in the world to maybe get super excited about potato salad, but man, like a good, creamy, chunky potato salad is something worth getting excited about as far as I'm concerned. Like if you're not enjoying potato salad, are you really enjoying life? That got weird and dark, which is maybe an alternative title for this podcast. That got weird and dark with John Dulong. But no, it's the John Dulong Show, my weird audio blog that I put out into the world, and the same weirdos that listen to it every single week seem to download it. And I love you, weirdos. You're absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Speaking of weird things that have been going on, since we put this pod out last week, and between then and now, man, that Yanny and Laurel thing happened and then was no longer happening really damn quickly. Like, it seemed like it was one of those memes that just came out of absolutely nowhere and seemed to end absolutely out of nowhere. I mean, it was kind of dead once the White House did their thing where they were trying to be cool and hip and, oh, look at this, Kellyanne Conway's in on the joke about her being lying all the time. Yeah, as if that makes it better. That actually makes it worse, Kellyanne. Like, that's actually the problem that we have, is that you know that you're a lying piece of shit and you're doing nothing to actually stop it. Anyhow, what I liked about this Yanny Laurel thing is that like both sides were technically right. So like the actual recording, as I understand it, was for like an online dictionary or something like that, and it actually was the word Laurel. But and if you like looked at, and I did see a couple of different websites that were sort of analyzing the waveform of the actual sound, and it does look like there was an L and an R sound where they should be in terms of Laurel, and also the original person who recorded it said, yeah, I was saying Laurel. It's a really interesting sort of view, though, if you look at it from like the scientific point of view of like why some folks hear Laurel and others hear Yanny. I personally did hear Yanny myself. I have yet to hear Laurel. I guess it has something to do with you're more likely to hear Yanny if you're more likely to hear the upper registers, which tends to have to do with the physiological makeup of your ears, also whatever you're listening on. Also, if you're younger, you're more likely to hear Yanny than you are Laurel because you hear more of the high end than you do the low end. As you get older, you start to hear more of the low end and less of the high end, so that's why you're more likely to hear Laurel in those situations. Of course, it matters what you're actually listening on, so if you're listening in really high-definition headphones or something along those lines, you're more likely to hear the sort of lossless recording, and you would maybe be more likely to hear Laurel. But man, like it just completely blew up, and then like people were pissed off about it 30 seconds later. And like honestly, like this is something that I brought up in my class, and people were like getting upset about it, like angry that like people were hearing the thing that they weren't hearing. And I don't know, like it's a shame that we can't just enjoy something as a culture for more than like 5 minutes. If we could just all just enjoy, like, this is kind of neat, and people, and here's why it's kind of neat. But instead, people just jump down each other's throats over it. So I don't know. You know what? We're going to put this out here. This will be the absolute nail in the coffin. Which did you hear, or did you hear both? That'll be your message prompt for this week. JohnDulongShow@gmail.com. Email on in. Did you hear Yanny or did you hear Laurel? I have heard Yanny. I've been trying to hear Laurel because I know people who have heard both. I'm trying to hear Laurel. But I have yet to actually succeed. So on the other side of this little musical break, we're going to get right into the first topic this week, and it will be movies and television shows that I'm excited about. I went to go see Deadpool with the girlfriend this week, Deadpool 2. I'm going to give non-spoiler thoughts on that film on the other side of this here break. So we'll see you soon. All right, so I need to just jump in here right away. I am going to talk about Deadpool 2, like I said, spoiler-free as much as I can make it. And I am going to talk about some other things that I'm pretty excited about. But I need to just for a second. I just now got tagged by the girlfriend on Facebook to one of the random meme pages that one of us follows, and we do this sort of back and forth to each other if it's something that we know that we'll enjoy, and blah 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 blah. Adult romantic things here in the year 2018. And she just tagged me in what's maybe the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life. Somebody has taken the video to Donald Glover, Childish Gambino's "This Is America," which I haven't actually talked about on this show. Now that I think about it, fantastic, love it, up and down. I think it's pretty great. I think the video is one of the best pieces of art that has been produced in a long time. Maybe not my favorite Childish Gambino track of all time, but then again, I think I tried to pin down what that actually was, and I'm really not sure. Freaks and Geeks. We'll go with Freaks and Geeks. But anyhow, This Is America. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely vital, very, very important. But somebody has taken the video to This Is America and synced up to Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, which is just upsetting. It kind of ruined two things that I love at the same time. So I hope that I never have to see that again. I'm definitely going to go, just as soon as I turn off this microphone, I'm definitely going to go watch it like another 3 or 4 times. You know what? Actually, like I get into this weird loop with things like that. That it's just like I hate this. I need to watch it a million times. Like I think this is awful. I need to see it many, many times in order for me to truly appreciate just how much I dislike it. Like I mean, okay, so I don't want to like drag anybody here. And like honestly, like it's not like they're doing a worse job than I could do, because obviously they're not. But I recently was watching. Recently found, I should say, on YouTube, a clip of the 2018 Olivier Awards. Over in the UK, it's like their theater awards. It's like the Tonys, but more British. And like it was the English cast of Hamilton doing the opening track to Hamilton, which is called Alexander Hamilton. It was just like I just like there's something just like so it's like flying. It's like that line from The Simpsons. There's something so unwholesome about flying a kite at night. There's something so unwholesome about those actors in particular trying to do Hamilton, because they just have the only way that I can describe it is it's like it's still a wonderful cast, and I'm sure that they're all very very accomplished theater actors, and you know what? I haven't actually seen or heard anything else by this cast, so maybe this was just a bad example. Okay, that those are all these sort of asterisks is that I'm going to put on this next statement, but like it's just so weird and off-putting that I just can't quite put my finger on it, and I've watched it so many times. The best example that I've gotten, the best description of what I've got that I've been able to come up with of what it's like, is it's like when on the Chappelle Show, Dave Chappelle does like his white guy voice. That's what it's kind of like, and it's kind of a shame because it's like they're trying to, because they're rapping, they're trying to not have their natural sort of English accents. And they're trying to sound a little bit more American. But, like, realistically, like, I just wish that they had just, like, stuck with their own natural accents for it. Because I think it would lend an extra interesting layer to this story, particularly in the fact that it's the story of the American Revolution for the first act. And it would be, an interesting layer on top of, the actual story. Is like, here are these English actors who are portraying the American revolutionaries as the heroes in this particular story. But it's just like over enunciated and strange. It's just, I don't know. It's just too clean, I guess, is the best way to put it. And I've seen it. Like, I'm probably going to go watch that again now too. And just it's not necessarily hate watching. It's just like, this is so weird and I don't like it. I need to watch it another 1,000 times just to purely try to understand why I don't like it. I don't know. I got weirdly sidetracked here for like 10 minutes. We're not 10, I guess, but still. So yeah, went to go see. Yeah, that's the actual topic that I was going to get on now. Went to go see Deadpool 2 with the girlfriend this past weekend. We went on Friday. Early show, beat the crowds, which is just absolutely lovely to me. I enjoy beating a crowd in terms of going to see a new blockbuster. Again, spoiler-free take on the show, and like I'm not the biggest like comic book guy, so like I don't know. Like there's certainly things that I probably would have appreciated about this particular movie. If I were more aware of the sort of backstory to some of the characters, to the backstory of Deadpool a little bit more clearly, I guess. What I will say is that I did really, really enjoy this film. I thought it was, it's kind of everything that you want out of that first summer blockbuster, which to a certain extent it kind of is the first one. I mean, I guess you had Civil War, but or not Civil War, Infinity War. So like, but really this one's like in late May, and it's going to carry us probably into June. So it's kind of the first one of the sort of the summer blockbuster party. What I will say about it is that I really enjoyed it. Obviously, they had more money to work with this time around. Of course, the first Deadpool